just like me when it was over. One more day of sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you made me blue. I think I saw you but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. Yeah. For falling just like me when it was over. One more day of sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you made me blue. I think I saw you but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts.
Hey, Momo. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is Adam Grandpa Destroys Microwave.
I got something for the trip to damn Philadelphia.
What'd you get?
Man, damn, you gonna like this, boy. I bought a thermos, man, put my coffee in.
A thermos for what?
To put my coffee in for the trip.
Okay, we have to discuss this trip up to Philadelphia, Pop.
Yeah, we need to talk about it. We gotta figure the road.
Listen.
Wait, let me talk. We gotta go. You do it on Google, right?
Yep.
And you go maps and you draw what?
We don't need to drive.
What about snow?
We don't need to.
Yeah, we don't drive.
That's why, because of snow and stuff. We can't drive to Philadelphia.
I'm driving to Philadelphia, Michael. It's decided.
Seriously, let's just fly.
Fly, Michael! Goddamn it! Now listen to me. I am not flying. They just lost a goddamn plane yesterday. They ain't getting my big ass in no goddamn plane.
We have to fly. You can't.
I am not gonna
We're
live in the
not
goddamn.
driving to
I am not gonna live in the
Philadelphia.
goddamn ocean. You understand me?
That's gonna be.
I am not gonna live in a goddamn field. Like goddamn. What's that goddamn guy's name?
Ricky Valens.
Yeah, I got visions, man.
This
I
ain't
go
no
by.
Papa.
I see the goddamn plane falling. I'm in it.
I don't care
You know what?
you
No, what?
We're flying. I'm not dealing with this no more.
I am not flying.
I've already bought the tickets.
What?
We're flying to Philadelphia.
Oh hell no!
That's.
Oh hell no! No! Oh hell no! Michael, no!
I almost spent $1,000 on tickets.
Get your money back, bitch!
We're flying. That's all there is to it, or you're not going. Chill out, dude.
In my opinion, I know been on a plane in my life before and I'm still of heights.
Michael, I am not.
Okay, dude, you need to chill out sometimes. You're flying.
You.
Okay, calm the hell down. It's just a plane.
Get your money back, Michael.
You want to go to the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Then you're flying, or you're not going. Okay, go. No, come on!
Oh, fuck! Damn it!
Dude, what if you got freaking the chicken and dumplings? Dude, enough. Don't do anything else. I'm scared.
You was on the fly, bitch!
Jesus Christ, dude.
Let that goddamn microwave fly!
Yeah.
It just flew, but not me.
Well, we're gonna have to talk about this further.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do no talk. It's over.
Okay, that was entering Grandpa Destroys Microwave. Hey, what's up? I can't pronounce your name, but hello anyhow. Okay, this is top 10 Siren heads sightings caught on camera by Chills.
Siren head sightings are being reported all over the world. After a 30-year slumber, it appears to have awakened. Number 10. A YouTuber called Paranormal World repeatedly hears haunting voices of small children in this forest. Voices coming from areas too dense for any person to even get to. I can't understand what the kids are saying either. Can you? Probably not. It sounds like something doing an impression of children. Lots of...
If I hear someone like that in the forest, I'd probably go back out of there, man.
Of them, though none of them are speaking English per se, and with no real human emotion. Soon the voices are accompanied by whatever this is. He continues walking around the circumference of the marsh to see if anything is on the other side. Sure enough, he hears this hauntingly familiar sound.
Get out of there, buddy.
I think those harsh beeps are what Siren Head plays when it's still a good distance away, and I think this flat drone is reserved for when it's located its next target. So if you are unlucky enough to hear that noise, it probably means it's already too late. Number 9. A YouTuber named X71Nawaf is in his home country of Saudi Arabia when he hears a North American emergency weather warning broadcast on a clear day in English instead of his native language. Tell me what Siren Head is saying here. I can understand most of what is being said, but I think some words are misspoken because Siren Head doesn't know the language and is merely imitating phrases. My theory is that Siren Head puts out a weather warning to lure people from the safety of their home for a better look. It seems to work because he wanders out of his home and accidentally into the path of Siren Head itself. As he unsuccessfully tries to hide, he learns firsthand the most unsettling fact about Siren Head of all, its ability to imitate those closest to you. The monster suddenly speaks Arabic and sounds like someone who I suspect this YouTuber personally knows, perhaps a family member, except their voice is far away and tiny, because it's that of a cryptid, not really theirs at all. He runs back inside and locks the door, but at this point it's of little use. Once you are spotted, there really is nowhere left to run. Cornered with absolutely no way to defend himself, there's nothing left to do but record his own doom. This hand at 1 minute and 46 seconds looks large and real, even in slow motion, fully capable of crushing a normal-sized person without problem, which I'm guessing is what happened next. Number 8. Siren Head's first sighting was in the Arizona desert in the 60s. The next sighting wouldn't be until the 90s in Tanyard Creek, Arkansas. And now in 2020, Siren Head seems to have awakened from its 30-year slumber to stalk and hunt once again. Siren Head is seen and heard crossing Lake Ferguson in Greenland. It looks like it at first, but when you zoom in, the arms look stiffly animated. It also looks somewhat unlevel as it wads through the water, so I'm not sure about this one. Number 7. A YouTuber named DX Army live streams from their hometown of Tanyard Creek, Arkansas, the same place where Siren Head once terrified locals in the summer of 1995. DX Army doesn't believe in Siren Head and feels confident because he and his friends have never even heard of him before until now. Now surrounded by fields and woods on a narrow trail, they accidentally leave their main flashlight behind and can't see as far ahead as they'd like. Still, they've been searching for quite a while and no sirens yet, so it looks like this video could be a bust. At this point, they've pretty much given up on cryptid hunting and are just trying their best not to get too turned around in the middle of the night. They're really deep in the woods when this happens. They aren't sure what direction to go next when they realize any direction is better than forward. The siren sounds faint at first,
Stuck in there to be caught.
No, I think we should go back like this way.
but as they linger in place, it gets their scent and grows louder.
Hello?
And suddenly changes into a chittering laughter as it prepares to hunt them down.
The freak?
Now they retrace their steps with more urgency than before, blindly charging into spiky vines that dig into their skin. Just when they think they are in the clear, a stranger calls out for help. Not quite human, but close. And I hear a beep immediately after.
Hold up. You hear that? Whoa. Hey!
They are still in complete disbelief and in shock too, scrambling to reason that it might be a park ranger or something. Anything besides what they know it to be, Siren Head.
Dude, what is that? Whoa!
As it towers over them in the darkness, the DX army learns, all too late, that Siren Head is there. Maybe they constructed a giant Siren Head statue themselves and acted scared, but if so, that seems like it would be pretty heavy to carry around and set up around different parts of the forest for almost 40 minutes, so I think this might be real. Number 6. Siren Head itself is as skinny as a tree and tends to stay in sparsely wooded areas much like this one to better blend in. A YouTuber named Morion recorded this Siren Head sighting on December 10th of 2019, many months before the cryptid became popular enough to go viral. He was alone in the woods when he heard this unforgettable noise. He stood very still as it walked by, and this is what he saw. A person in the comments section said that this sounds like tornado sirens from Chicago, and I wanted to get the opinion of anyone who lives there and has heard them. Siren Head is capable of imitating many different sounds. Maybe Chicago is where this video was taken, or maybe this was this.
I know Chicago, I've seen videos of their sirens and it sounds like that.
Sound it decided to imitate at the time, or if this was edited, then it probably was chosen because it was the creepiest sound effect Morion could find.
Yeah, there were all tornado sirens in Chicago.
Number 5. A warning siren rips through the small town. Even though the weather is fine, the loud siren keeps going on and off at random, so this curious resident grabs a camera and goes outside to record it. He never knew it was Siren Head looking for prey. Creepy? Yeah, I think so, but there's a catch. Here are the final moments that other channels aren't showing, and it definitely makes all the difference. This editing error at the end is a total giveaway. Still, this video has gone viral, and a lot of people who haven't seen the end are freaking out thinking that it's real. I just wanted to lay the rumors to rest and also say that the creator of this video, a YouTuber named SCP-000JN, has stepped forward to reveal that this is not a real Siren Head sighting after all. Number 4. This Siren Head sighting was taken somewhere in Australia. It looks pretty good at first, but when it moves its arms, it looks choppy and not exactly real. Basically, it looks like it needs a few more frames of animation to smooth out the leg and make it look a little more fluid. At 44 seconds, there's some sort of digital blur where the arm is not visible in the clouds. The perspective looks kind of wrong though, because I don't think its upper half would be sticking out of the clouds like that. Well, this is definitely a scary video. If Australia is free from Siren Head for now is up for debate. Number 3. Richie Roo has a Siren Head sighting for you, or so he claims. Take a closer look. Is this the infamous Siren Head cryptid, or is it just a roof structure? Siren Head is said to have an extremely thin neck pole made of flash.
In my opinion, that do look like a part of the roof.
With 2 small but loud sirens on top, so I do kind of see what he means. It stands still during the day and tries its best to blend in until someone is unlucky enough to wander by, but I'm almost positive that this is just part of the building because there's an identical looking part sticking out here. There's also a chance I'm completely wrong about this, which would mean there would have to be 2. Number 2. Siren Head seems to prefer wooded and desert climates, as shown in this April 15th sighting in Morocco. Tell me what language is being spoken and what they're saying here. But I think it's odd how this cameraman focuses on this camel rider instead of the giant cryptid ahead. Still, when you zoom in on the cryptid, it has a surprising amount of extra detail that wasn't visible before, including these wires connecting the sirens to its lower legs, so maybe this is a real siren head sighting. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds, because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my find out. It blends in with its Number 1. This photograph of Siren Head shows how easily it blends in with its surroundings. Its twisted exoskeleton resembles tree bark and would be easy to miss walking in the forest past sunset. The lighting in this photo looks real. The camera flash is brightest around its chest, and it's similarly bright at the same height on the tree. The way it gets darker around the neck and Siren's likewise matches that part of the tree. So was this standing outside of someone's house? I don't know. Someone tell me if this is photoshopped or not, and how you can tell. These are scary videos that experts.
Okay, that was 10 Siren Head sightings caught on tape.
Only take one, yeah, and I ain't got no time for no one with fake love. Where the love go? Tell me where the love went. She don't care unless it benefits her budget, and I can tell she only in it for the gold. She gon' have to learn to get it on her own. Tell me why the boy was talking on me like you was sweet, then turn around and try to damn me when we up in the street. I can't show no love for a hater, a traitor. Showing fake love, see you later, later. I can't stand the fake love. Where the love go? Where'd it go? Where the love go? I can't stand the fake love. Where the love go? Where'd it go? I can't show no love, can't show no love. No love from me. Yeah, I can't show nobody fake love, cause I've been in my bag lately, getting cash, baby. So don't you act like you been here from day one. Graduated from a sip, turned into a big boss. Now she see me getting rich, cause I'm about to take off. Yeah, my life is like a movie, this is only take one. Yeah, and I ain't got no time for no one with fake love. Regular ways. Shorty, she see that I'm on. Already know that I'm paid. I've been a beast, I just got off the leash and I'm breaking right out of the cage. She wanna hop on the wave. Told her to hop on my face. It's too late for that. The way you reacting, I don't need to find a place for that. Gave you a part of my heart, I wish I could take it back. Wish I could take it back. If we just face the facts, showing love is too late for that. Showing love is too late for that. If it's broken, I'm replacing that. Memories, I'm erasing that. Gotta go, I'm escaping that. Matter of fact, I'm upgrading. Got me a couple of dimes in my rotation. One in relations, bigger than no conversation. Ain't got the time, too much celebrating. Another day, another dog. Now she want me as a crush. She want me to eat it like lunch. Make the little girl fall in love. If I was to give you a chance, I promise it'd only be one. Find out you take it for granted. You get it left in the dust. You get it left in the past tense. Can't treat me right, then I just gotta dip advantage. Said your ex, he left you tragic. Just because you sad and damaged, don't give you the right to hand it out. But it's too late now, yeah, it's too late now, yeah. Had to upgrade from my regular ways. Shorty, she see that I'm on. Already know that I'm paid. I've been a beast, I just got off the leash and I'm breaking right out of the cage. She wanna hop on the wave. Told her to hop on my face. It's too late for that. The way you reacting, I don't need to find a place for that. Gave you a part of my heart, I wish I could take it back. Wish I could take it back, if we just face the facts, showing love is too late for that. It be too late to show me all your love. It be too late for the kisses and hugs. Play with my heart, baby girl, you a dog.
Okay, this is the scariest earthquake moments caught on camera by all the world.
From a gym in Taiwan that collapsed on these
Holy
badminton
fuck.
players, and an office worker in Japan who wished he had New Year's Day off, to an allegedly earthquake-proof building in Turkey that was put to the ultimate test, and shoppers in the Philippines who had to flee this shaking 7-Eleven. Here are some of the scariest earthquake moments caught on camera. On March 28th of 2025, two powerful earthquakes rocked Mandalay, the second largest city in Myanmar. The first
Like where I am in Canada, we don't get that many earthquakes. If we do, it's like feeling not as powerful like most places, like Japan or the west coast of North America.
First was a 7.7 magnitude tremor that struck around 1 p.m. local time. It was soon followed by a 6.4 magnitude aftershock about 12 minutes later. Both earthquakes were strong enough to rattle the Thai capital of Bangkok over 600 miles away. Watch as they turn this rooftop spa into a wave pool, sending water cascading
Holy
over the side
fuck.
and down to the street below.
Yeah, those calls are getting the car wash.
Another viral clip from a nearby hotel shows swimmers stranded on the flooded roof. Imagine being this Thai local and hearing your high-rise building creak and crack while an earthquake shakes everything around you.
Holy fuck. If I was in the highways building going to earthquake, I just wanted to get the fuck off of that building, man. Even if I have a jump off.
Let's circle back to the viral pool footage. Did you know that high-rise pools are built to dampen the swaying motion of buildings during seismic events? When constructed properly, the water displaces the seismic waves, helping dissipate the energy that would otherwise impact the building. This helps reduce stress on the framework and, in turn, prevents it from collapsing. In other words, waves spilling over the roof are a good sign. It means the pool is doing its job. Malatya, Turkey is a large city in eastern Anatolia. People have lived in the area for thousands of years, meaning they've seen their fair share of powerful earthquakes. In case you didn't know, Turkey is highly earthquake-prone due to its location at the crossroads of three tectonic plates. That's why builders
I know that Japan have earthquakes, like major earthquakes.
in Malatya boasted about their new earthquake-proof apartment complex, which opened in 2022. About a year later, the reinforced concrete was put to the ultimate test when a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocked the city.
Holy fuck! And that is an earthquake-proof building? More like an earthquake-ness building.
Nothing is truly earthquake-proof, especially when the earthquake in question is the strongest to hit Turkey in nearly 100 years. The damage could only be described as catastrophic. Roughly 140,000 square miles, or a land area the size of Germany, were impacted. About 14 million people, or 16% of Turkey's population, felt the tremor. Many were trapped under collapsed buildings for several days. One of them, a young man named Mustafa, was trapped for over 260 hours beneath a rubble pile in Hatay, Turkey. Watch as Mustafa chats with a relative in this touching video, letting him know he's alive and okay.
Hiçbir problem yok.
Mustafa Kemal'in
Abdülkadir'in altındaki kardeşi misin sen?
Aynen güzel kardeşim. Kurban olurum ben senin gibisine.
Abi neredesin Allah
Annemler ne yapıyorlar annemler?
hepsi seni bekliyor.
Hepsi kurtuldu. Hepsi kurtuldu mu? Ne yaptılar?
The 7.8 magnitude quake was so strong that people in Egypt and across the Black Sea felt it. Over the next 3 months, roughly 30,000 aftershocks followed. In the end, over 50,000 people perished in Turkey, making this earthquake one of the worst natural disasters in human history. On New Year's Day of 2024, a powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck the Noto Peninsula in Ishikawa, Japan. At a shallow depth of roughly 6 miles, the quake was strong enough to cause severe structural damage. In Japan, New Year's Day is considered a...
Like, I know Japan have earthquakes. Like, if Bobo seen this, I know Bobo have seen felt fail sale of earthquakes in Japan.
National holiday. While many were home with their families, those who couldn't take the day off were trapped in their respective offices. Then, everything started shaking. One local worker could barely keep his footing when his office building nearly collapsed.
So bad for you in the house. No offense to that.
Elsewhere in Ishikawa, readers in a large bookstore ducked for cover and watched as their favorite novels flew off the shelves.
I don't walk.
The New Year's Day earthquake triggered tsunami warnings in cities along the Sea of Japan. In some areas, waves grew roughly 12 feet high as they flooded coastal towns. A 5.5 magnitude
I still remember that earthquake from 2011 that struck Japan. Like, I always wanted to visit Japan, but not if there's gonna be an earthquake like this, though.
Pre-shock opened for the 7.5 magnitude main shock. Once the main quake settled, 15 aftershocks rated 5.0 or higher struck the region. When it was finally over 500 people had perished and nearly 200,000 structures were damaged. The 2024 New Year's earthquake was a harsh reminder of how vulnerable Japan is to extreme seismic activity. It was November 30th of 2018. A teacher in Anchorage, Alaska, was in the middle of an important lesson when a 7.1 magnitude earthquake suddenly rocked his classroom. Watch how quickly he and the students duck and hide under the desks. This clearly wasn't their first rodeo.
Cover your mouth with your shirt. Everybody okay? Okay, stay underneath. That was the biggest earthquake I've ever felt in my life. But we're okay. Everybody's okay, right? Stay underneath the table. Everybody okay?
Breathing.
Stay underneath the table.
All I can say is, holy crap. Is they cancel school today?
That's probably not the first thing we need to be worried about right now.
The quake struck about 10 miles north of Anchorage near Point Mackenzie at a depth of roughly 27 miles. Over the next few days, thousands of aftershocks kept people on edge. Some were...
I don't understand modern nature sometimes, man. Scene can be a real son of a bitch sometimes.
imperceptible. Others were enough to knock you off your feet. 3 schools in the Anchorage area sustained significant structural damage, enough to close them for several days. Thankfully, Alaska's strict building codes ensured everybody was safe when the main quake and aftershocks hit. Believe it or not, Alaska is the most earthquake-prone state in the US and one of the most seismically active regions in the world.
I thought, the states like California and Washington State and all those guys are more earthquakes prone than Alaska. Apparently not.
Experiences at least one 7.0 magnitude earthquake each year. So, when that one student asked if they'd be going home after the earthquake, he was likely speaking from experience. On September 17th of 2018, 2 powerful earthquakes struck within hours of each other in southeastern Taiwan. The first hit Taitung County, unleashing a 6.5 magnitude shockwave. The second occurred in Hualien County, hitting a whopping 6.9 on the Richter scale. Then, on Sunday the 18th, a 6.8 magnitude aftershock rocked the island's southeastern coast. These local badminton players were trying to get a few games in when CCTV cameras captured the roof collapsing around them. Thankfully, everyone made it out okay.
晃，他们就觉得不对劲，抬头往上看，都掉下来，哎呦！哦，就这个了，就这个被刺到，因为大家觉得不妙，就先是整个下来。
According to Taiwan's Central Weather Bureau, most of the damage occurred north of the epicenter in the town of Qishang. The quake's shallow 4-mile depth meant it was strong enough to topple buildings and trigger landslides. In Hualien County, a 3-story building collapsed, trapping several people inside. Meanwhile, roughly 500 tourists were stranded in the eastern mountains after landslides blocked a road. Taiwan's tectonic setting on the Eurasian and Philippine plates makes it highly earthquake-prone. Events like these are commonplace, which is why Taiwanese authorities push earthquake training and safety on their people. Hualien City is a coastal metro in eastern Taiwan. It's home to roughly 100,000 people who felt the effects of a powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake on April 3rd of 2024. The earthquake struck around 8 a.m. local time, as many people were drinking their morning coffee and preparing to start their day. When it hit, dozens of diners were forced to run out of this small breakfast cafe. Watch how close they all came to becoming pancakes themselves. Happy Moments Breakfast Cafe operated on the ground floor of this 30-year-old 5-story building. The cafe owner leads the charge, ensuring all 17 customers make it out safely. Seconds later, the building comes crashing down, sending a wave of dust toward our diners.
Let me guess, it goes down.
里面还有人吗？哎，那个不要摸那个电线，很危险！不要摸电线。
This was the scene in multiple areas around Hualien City. Some buildings were severely damaged, while others collapsed entirely. The quake also triggered several landslides in rural mountain regions like Taroko National Park. Elsewhere in Taiwan, a homeowner was trying to enjoy their breakfast when the earthquake began knocking things off their table. Over the next 24 hours, 700 aftershocks struck the area.
Like I said before about Mother Nature, like holy fuck, 700 aftershocks in a day. That's Mother Nature for you in the nutshell.
By mid-May, geologists had recorded upwards of 1,300, some rating as high as 6.0 on the Richter scale. Over the years, Taiwan has invested heavily in early warning and preparedness systems. Despite claiming over a dozen lives, the Hualien earthquake had little retrospective impact on Taiwan's 23 million residents. Feidong, China is a large county in Anhui province.
Another sightings on, I would have figured that Japan would be more the top country in this one, man.
It's home to about 860,000 people, many of whom received an 11-second heads-up that a powerful earthquake was about to strike. On September 18th of 2024, around 8:08 p.m., phones began buzzing around the county, warning about 129,000 people to evacuate. CCTV cameras were rolling when the early warnings went out. Some were paying attention. Others found out the hard way.
Ouch.
The earthquake was only a 4.7 magnitude. It was strong enough to shake some shelves and tables, but too weak to bring down entire buildings. Nobody was hurt thanks to the early warnings, and the power grid remained up and running. According to Ma Qiang, chief engineer of China's National Earthquake Early Warning Project, the system can't predict earthquakes, but it can warn people when they're about to happen. That's because electromagnetic waves are significantly faster than seismic waves. Therefore, warnings can be sent before the quake strikes, affording people precious seconds to escape. Mindanao Island is the second largest in the Philippines and the seventh most populous island in the world. It's home to roughly 26 million people living within 37,000 square miles. That means everyone feels it when an earthquake strikes the area. On December 2nd of 2023, a 7.6 magnitude tremor struck off the coast of Mindanao around 10:37 p.m. Some late-night shoppers were forced to flee a 7-Eleven when the shelves started shaking and wine bottles shattered on the floor. Thankfully, everyone made it out of the store safely and there was no significant damage. At least one person likely quipped, "Clean up on aisle 5. Jokes aside, the earthquake caused severe damage elsewhere on Mindanao. Over 8,300 homes were damaged and close to 400 were destroyed. Sadly, 3 people perished, while the economic losses amounted to roughly $22.8 million. Aksu, China is a large city in the Xinjiang region. It's a seismically active area near the Tian Shan mountain range, driven mainly by collisions between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. On January 23rd of 2024, around 2:09 a.m., a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck in Uchterpan County, a small region of roughly 180,000 people. Multiple CCTV cameras captured several unique experiences during the quake. Many were fast asleep, a few were out for a late-night meal, and one woman was just trying to enjoy a foot bath. There's nothing like an earthquake to ruin a late-night dinner. Pay attention to the man in black. He doesn't seem at all fazed when the ground starts shaking. His buddy tries to beckon him out, but he won't leave his soup to get cold. Finally, the younger man rushes over and forces him to leave. Meanwhile, this guy's like, "Hold on, I think I left my wallet." This next woman was just trying to enjoy a bedtime foot bath. When the earthquake struck, her first reaction was to grab a blanket from her bedroom. Her husband emerges with his own blanket, so we assumed they planned to run out into the cold. However, by the time they bundle up, the earthquake seems like it's already over. Roughly 4,200 aftershocks followed the main earthquake, the largest of which was a 5.7 on January 29th. In China, 3 people perished while over 9,000 were displaced. The main quake was also felt as far away as Kurgan, Russia, where 2 buildings sustained damage and over 240 people were forced to evacuate. On October 30th of 2020, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck in the Aegean Sea near the Greek island of Samos. However, most of the damage occurred in Izmir, Turkey, the 3rd largest city in the country behind Istanbul and Ankara. It was around 3 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, meaning many locals were out and about when the earthquake struck. CCTV cameras around the city captured the chaotic moments when buildings emptied and people flooded the streets. Everything shakes as people try to get as far from the buildings as possible. Thankfully, they know better than to stay under the buildings. In this shot, hundreds of people run into the crowded streets. Some people abandoned their cars, though they probably would have been safe inside. According to the Oregon Department of Safety, you should pull over and sit tight if caught driving during an earthquake. Just make sure you're not stopped under a bridge or any buildings. At first, the Turkish government claimed only 6 buildings had collapsed during the earthquake. In reality, it was more like 103, many of which were torn down due to damage. Most of the collapsed structures were built in the 1990s using blueprints based on outdated 1975 earthquake regulations. In the aftermath, there was intense public outcry over poor construction standards and illegal modifications made to old buildings. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, be sure...
Okay, that was the scariest earthquake moments caught on camera by Underworld. Okay, this is the 10 craziest train collisions and mistakes caught on camera by Autoroad.
From a Prius in El Paso that was demolished by a speeding train, and a truck driver in Russia who broke down in the worst place imaginable, to a passenger train in Sweden that split this bus in half, and a driver in Thailand who took a wrong turn onto the tracks. Here are 10 of the craziest train collisions and mistakes caught on camera. Conyers, Georgia is a small city in Rockdale County, roughly 24 miles east of downtown Atlanta. In recent years, Conyers has attracted Hollywood's eye, as it's been the filming location for films and TV shows like Sweet Home Alabama, The Dukes of Hazzard, and In the Heat of the Night. On April 11th of 2023, an NBC Universal tractor trailer was carrying two 1970s-style cars through Conyers when it got stuck on the train tracks between Green Street and South Main Street. A local police officer arrived to help the driver off the tracks, but despite their best efforts, the trailer wouldn't budge. The only thing capable of moving this truck was a speeding train.
I'm gonna have to take these cars off, and then I hope the trailer raise up. What if you just pull them forward and put the weight up on the axles up front?
505 71, be advised, there is a train coming your way.
$71, clear out of there. Radio, we've got impact, advise CSX.
Thankfully, nobody was hurt when the train roared through. We can't say the same for the trailer and its load. If you're a fan of classic cars, we suggest you look away. One of them, possibly an old Chevy, was in decent shape. The other vehicle, a Mercedes, was a mangled mess at the front of the train. Things got scary for a moment when police learned the train was carrying hazardous materials. Luckily, none of the cars were damaged, and nothing toxic was leaking out. If we had to guess, the trailer bottomed out on the tracks, causing it to get stuck. Looking closely at the dashcam footage, you can see where it's scraping against the tracks and where the rear tires are floating above the road. Hopefully, the production company had good insurance on those cars. Who knows? Maybe the script called for a mangled 1970s Mercedes. Midland, Texas is an oil and natural gas city about 330 miles west of Dallas. It's home to roughly 132,000 people and was founded on a halfway point between El Paso and Fort Worth via the Texas and Pacific Railroad. On December 18th of 2018, a semi-truck got stuck on the tracks near Warehouse Road and West Industrial Avenue. Police arrived on the scene around 2:20 in the afternoon, but there was little that they could do. That's because a Union Pacific train was heading right for them.
Holy moly! Woo! Wowzer.
According to our cameraman, he was driving through the area when he saw the truck on the tracks. That's when he spotted the driver running toward the train, waving his arms like a madman. He knew something wild was about to happen, so he pulled out his phone to record. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, and cleanup crews quickly cleared the debris. Police said that they were looking into the cause of the crash, but it doesn't seem like negligence played a role. The driver made an honest mistake. Sometimes
honest mistake, like I could know some people, like some of these trucks are knowing enough to get caught on these trucks. Like I don't want to curse, but some people are retarded.
the embarrassment is punishment enough. On January 7th of 2008, a powerful EF3 tornado touched near the border of Boone and McHenry counties in Illinois. The freak storm caught everybody off guard. According to the National Weather Service, the last time a January twister touched down in the region was 1950. The twister was heading toward Harvard, Illinois, when it crossed the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad. Unfortunately, a train conductor never saw it coming and wound up driving straight into the storm. They say it takes a lot to stop a moving train. Watch how this tornado makes it look easy. By the time it passed, 12 cars had come flying off the tracks. One contained hazardous materials, forcing the mandatory evacuation of Lawrence, Illinois. On Google Maps, you can see where the railroad runs through the center of town northeast of Harvard. We're guessing the derailment happened here or at least somewhere close by. According to a railroad spokesperson, things could have been much worse. One of the tankers was carrying ethylene oxide, a highly flammable and explosive substance used in weapons manufacturing. Ultimately, nobody was seriously injured during the train derailment or the tornado. Sadly, about 20 homes were damaged and nearly a dozen were destroyed. Trucks can get stuck on train tracks for any number of reasons. Most of the time, they bottom out and can't move. Sometimes the driver gets unlucky and a mechanical failure brings the rig to a screeching halt. That's what happened to this Russian trucker on January 14th of 2012. Lucky for us, a local couple had their dash cam rolling when they drove up on the scene.
Пиздец.
Экстренное торможение. Тормози.
Не успеет. Отъезжай. Вон туда, вон подъезжай. Миша, блядь!
In hindsight, they probably picked the worst spot to stop and film the train. Thankfully, they backed away in time and narrowly escaped a major accident. A similar scene unfolded on January 21st of 2017 in North Salt Lake, Utah. This time, a police officer captured the whole thing, proving the truck driver did nothing wrong. Pay attention to the oncoming FedEx truck. Notice how the crossing arms are up, suggesting a train is nowhere in sight. Then, bam! A front-runner train smashes through the first trailer, barely missing the cab. If you're still expecting a package that never came, this might be what happened to it. According to police, the crossing arms had been stuck in the down position for 12 minutes before the crash. UTA workers came to fix the problem by manually raising the arms. However, they failed to alert the oncoming train, which couldn't slow in time. In the end, the accident was blamed on human error. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, but the employee who raised the crossing arms was fired on the spot. Rosedale, Maryland is a small community of 19,000 people living roughly 6 miles outside of downtown Baltimore. It's a quiet place that rarely makes national headlines. That all changed on May 28th of 2013, when a massive explosion rocked the entire town. It all began with a garbage truck driver named John Albin Jr. According to investigators, the 51-year-old relied on his ears, not his eyes, to tell if a train was coming. While heading down Lake Drive, John took a hands-free call 18 seconds before crossing the tracks. CCTV cameras outside a nearby business captured what happened next. The moment John's garbage truck crosses the tracks, pow! The train roars through, eviscerating the truck and carrying it several thousand feet down the track. You can't tell in the footage, but multiple cars are flying off the rails, including one filled with sodium chlorate, a common bleaching agent. Another car containing terephthalic acid, which is used in plastic making, derailed and began leaking. Both chemicals ignited, leading to a massive explosion and fireball felt across Rosedale. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the blast. Despite burning for 12 hours, the fire didn't damage or destroy any homes, businesses, or infrastructure. The only person injured in the crash was John, who was rescued shortly after the accident. He was charged with several misdemeanor traffic violations, but the investigation determined it wasn't entirely his fault. In the CCTV footage, you can see significant overgrowth around the tracks. How the heck is anybody supposed to see a train coming? With that in mind, one might understand why John was listening for it rather than looking. Chonburi, Thailand is a coastal province near the Bay of Bangkok. It's home to about 1.5 million people, including one man who learned why you shouldn't park on train tracks. It's unclear what happened leading up to this catastrophic blunder. All we know is what we can see in the footage. It looks as though the man veered off the road and got his vehicle hooked on the tracks. That's when he saw the oncoming train and decided the car was a lost cause. Thankfully, the car was the only casualty in this video. Everyone walked away unharmed, and it looked like the police arrived at the end to determine what happened. Judging by how the man's car stuck, he may have taken a premature right turn. It looks like the road bends right up ahead, so perhaps that's where he was trying to go. El Paso, Texas is a major city on the Rio Grande River, just over the Mexican border. It's home to about 678,000 people, making it the largest city in West Texas. On August 12th of 2019, a car carrier hauling a single Toyota Prius got stuck on the train tracks near the intersection of Smith Street and Wells Road. Let's just say the tiny hybrid didn't stand a chance against this speeding train. At the very start, you can see where the car carrier bottomed out on the tracks. The rear tires are off the ground, meaning the driver will never get the truck moving again. Unfortunately, little information is available about the cause of the accident and the status of the driver and train conductor. Hopefully, they both walked away without injury. Gothenburg, Sweden is the second largest city in the country. It's home to roughly 600,000 people, many of whom rely on public transit to get around. Buses and trains typically work wonders. That is, until one accidentally destroys the other. It was March 8th of 2020. A local named Freddie Person was waiting at a bus stop when he noticed the back end of a double-long bus stuck on the tracks. Thankfully, everybody had gotten off moments before a passenger train came barreling through.
The smell of that, the smell of that, the smell of that. Me. Helvete. 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 Fy fan.
Now let's watch that again in slow motion. The bus spins around and even causes a small explosion near the front. It looks like the train is about to fly off the tracks and crash into Freddy. Luckily, it keeps going, only to partially derail further up the tracks. Rescue workers were worried when they learned 50 people were on board the train when it crashed. Thankfully, none were seriously hurt, at most suffering a few minor bumps and bruises. We believe the bus experienced some kind of mechanical failure that caused the crash. Unfortunately, it happened in the wrong place at the worst possible time. Metairie, Louisiana, October 18th of 2010. A train spotter known as Robert C. and his buddies were in southern Louisiana on a railfan trip. They stopped on Central Avenue, where dozens of trains crawl under the overpass every day. Their rail trip peaked when a Canadian National Railway train stopped right in front of them. One of the workers got off to flip the track switch manually, allowing the train to continue on its planned route. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Something slipped, and the next thing our camera crew knew, several cargo cars were flipped on their side.
I got all of that.
Oh my God.
According to Canadian National, the train was a 91-car CSX Corp on its way to a train yard west of Metairie. Thankfully, it was only hauling grain at the time, and nobody was hurt in the crash. It took about 2 hours to clear the mess and reopen the road. As for the train, the railroad said it would take a full day to fix the cars and get things moving again. Union City, Georgia is a railroad town in Fulton County. The name allegedly comes from the 1908 linking of two Georgia railroads, the Atlanta/West Point and the Seaboard Coastline. Since then, trains and railroad crossings have become a part of everyday life. That means train-related accidents are more frequent, like this crash from October of 2024. Unfortunately, there isn't much information available about this train crash. If we had to guess, the truck driver bottomed out when his GPS took him over the tracks. At that point, there was nothing they could do but wait for the train to unstick the truck. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another...
Okay, that was 10 craziest train collisions and mistakes caught on camera. I'm just gonna run and take a leak. I'll be back. this is the 5 biggest tornadoes in history by on the world.
Tornadoes are some of the most interesting yet destructive forces on Earth. I'm sure many of us have seen videos of tornadoes online, but never in person. So, it's hard to get an accurate idea of just how powerful and alarmingly massive these systems can become. The United States especially is prone to more tornadoes than anywhere else in the world, and it's here where all of the largest in history have occurred. So, sit back and relax as we dive into the history of the 5 biggest tornadoes in all of recorded history. In terms of tornadic activity, 1925 was a year of note. This was the year of the deadliest outbreaks of tornadoes in American history, and the second deadliest in world history. Specifically, March 18th is the deadliest single day of tornadic activity in the world. On this day, an incredibly powerful storm system moved across the United States, generating at least 12 significant tornadoes. These various tornadoes spanned various states, such as Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Alabama, and Kansas, among a few others. All of these occurred on the same day and were all part of the same storm system. In addition to these confirmed tornadoes, there were undoubtedly a few others that touched down in various places, but with much less impact or notoriety. One particular tornado that was spawned from this storm system came to be known as the Tri-State Tornado. It first touched down in Reynolds County, Missouri, just north of Ellington. It started as an EF1 or EF2, upending trees and toppling structures. It claimed its first life when a farmer was caught in its path. But as it
but I never saw a tornado in person, but about 2009 there was actually a tornado in my area. I never saw it, but it was newsworthy in my area.
continued on, it grew larger and its winds whipped faster. There were some reports that it even formed into a double funnel for a while. It went through many populated areas, even destroying some schools in the process. It eventually grew into a massive EF5 tornado with winds of nearly 250 miles per hour. This was one of the worst tornadoes that the world had ever seen, not only because of its power, but because of its speed, how far it traveled, and how long it was on the ground. This tornado was more than a mile wide, or 1.6 kilometers, and moved at an incredible 70 miles or 112 kilometers per hour. It spent more than 3 hours on the ground, traveling for nearly 219 miles across 3 states and devastated over 164 square miles of land. In the end, 700 people died from this tornado, with nearly 13,000 others suffering injuries. Oklahoma is located inside one of the most active places on Earth for tornadoes, known as Tornado Alley. It is a place in the central United States where cold air from the Rocky Mountains meets with warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, resulting in some of the most powerful storms on Earth. On May 3, 1999, the city of Oklahoma City was seeing some pretty severe weather. While this was nothing new to them, this particular cell was a bit different. It produced a strong tornado that devastated southern portions of Oklahoma City along with numerous suburbs. When it first dropped out of the sky, it registered as an EF2 tornado, but it quickly gained strength and became an EF4. From that point on, it fluctuated in strength between an EF2 and an EF5. After it had been on the ground for over an hour, it strengthened into a very powerful EF5. Much like the Tri-State Tornado, the Bridge Creed-Moore Tornado was particularly unique, not just because of its incredible wind speeds, but because it was on the ground for so long. The majority of tornadoes are only on the ground for a few minutes. Even with that short amount of time, they're still able to do tons of destruction. So just imagine what sort of devastation a tornado is capable of when it lasts for longer than an hour. By the time it had died out, the twister had produced some of the highest wind speeds ever measured globally, fluctuating between sustained speeds of 280 and 321 miles per hour, or 450 to 515 kilometers per hour. The tornado grew to a size of about 1 mile or 1.6 kilometers in width and traveled for 38 miles or 61 kilometers during its lifespan. 36 fatalities were reported, and the total costs associated with the destruction amounted to over $1 billion. When we see them from a distance, many of us could describe tornadoes as ominously beautiful. They look like skinny fingers of cloud that reach down to the earth, sometimes forming strange shapes. One particular type of tornado are known as wedge tornadoes, which are twisters that are wider than the distance from the ground to the sky. In other words, it looks like a wall of cloud. This was the case on May 22, 2011, when an EF5 tornado landed in the city of Joplin, Missouri. That day, the National Weather Service in Springfield, Missouri issued a tornado warning 17 minutes before the twister even touched the ground. When it did, it wasn't apparent to the people in its path that a tornado was approaching. It looked like a large wall of cloud that was surrounded by rain and wind, and anyone with an untrained eye would not have been able to recognize the danger they were in. The duration of the Joplin tornado was more typical of an average tornado, as it lasted for 38 minutes. But this one stands apart from most of the others due to its enormous shape. The people of Joplin were not fully aware, even with advanced warning, that what they were seeing was actually a tornado. As a result, many didn't seek the shelter that could have saved their lives. During its life, it reached a width of nearly 1 mile and covered a distance of roughly 22 miles. The tornado killed 158 people and injured around 1,150 others. It was the costliest tornado to ever strike the United States, totaling around $2.8 billion in damages and insurance claims. When we think about what makes a tornado dangerous, the first answer we typically think of is how fast the winds can blow. A few of us may even say that it all depends on where the tornado decides to touch down. If it's in the middle of a rural area, there isn't much harm in that, right? But if it's like the Bridge Creed Moore tornado and touches down in a densely populated area, that's where the real danger is. Of course, all of that is true, but let's not forget that tornadoes don't have to have the winds of an EF5 to be dangerous. Tornadoes can grow in size, measuring thousands of feet across. At that size, even a weaker tornado can do massive amounts of damage. During the afternoon of May 22, 2004, there was a powerful weather system moving across Nebraska, and it spawned multiple tornadoes. There was one in particular that was of particular significance. A powerful EF4 tornado touched down and churned across multiple counties in an hour and 20 minutes. But it wasn't the duration of the tornado or even its power that had meteorologists' attention. This twister measured over 2.5 miles across. That is over 12,000 feet. It is recognized by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration as the second largest tornado to ever be recorded. Most structures in the city were completely destroyed. There was even a coal train that was tossed off of its tracks. In spite of all this, there was only one fatality, as the city was alerted early enough to take proper shelter. The tornado actually touched down as an EF1, and in the first stages of its life, it only damaged things like farmhouses and silos. It slowly grew in intensity and size as it moved on. Once it reached the city of Hallam, it had intensified into a powerful EF4 tornado and had grown to be just over 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers across. The life of the tornado was rather long, with total time on the ground right around 100 minutes. It tracked a total distance of 52 miles or 84 kilometers. Total costs associated with this tornado are just north of $160 million. As we just stated, the Hallam tornado was the second largest tornado ever recorded. At 2.5 miles across, it's hard to imagine exactly how much larger a tornado can grow. In all reality, not much larger at all. But every foot larger is an extra foot that can destroy a building, carry off livestock, or crush a person. On Friday, March 31st, 2013, a very large and powerful storm system was moving across Oklahoma. It spawned a few weak twisters in some rural areas that did no damage. But there was one particular tornado that touched down about 8.3 miles southwest of the town of El Reno. Meteorologists were immediately concerned as this particular tornado was gaining strength and becoming more violent at an alarming rate. As it moved across the landscape, it quickly grew in size. Mobile weather radar revealed extreme winds of up to 302 miles per hour within the vortex, which were the highest observed winds on Earth at the time. As the twister crossed US Highway 81, it had grown to a record-breaking 2.6 miles, or 4.18 kilometers across. It traveled for a distance of roughly 16.2 miles, or 26 kilometers, with total time on the ground being about 40 minutes. In the end, 8 people lost their lives from this tornado, including 4 storm chasers. They were the first known deaths in the history of storm chasing. Miraculously, total damage was only around $40 million US. Meteorologists named this tornado as the most dangerous tornado in storm observing history, even though it did not strike any towns or cities. There were a few reasons, aside from its sheer size and incredible wind speed. This tornado had an irregular path, turning in sudden, erratic fashions. Additionally, this was a multiple vortex tornado in which there were many vortexes rotating around a central area. This is not only what contributed to its sheer size, but its erratic behavior as well. The El Reno tornado still holds the record as the largest tornado in recorded history. Tornadoes are some of nature's most alluring yet deadly displays. Luckily, our early warning systems have come a long way, and now we are able to detect when one might form, saving countless lives. But, in the end, Mother Nature will do as she pleases. To see more videos like this...
Okay, that was the 5 biggest tornadoes in history. I'm thinking of ending it. So if you like this, please subscribe, like, and comment. Peace.